Yo. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the second week of Die Party Fan Fiction. This is our play-by-post, role-playing, GM turn, where I sit through all of the responses that we got from the previous day, or in this case, the previous week, and we go through and we do some sweet dark magic to get everything up and running. So, welcome back to another week. This is like Act 6, so yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. Also worth pointing out, over this weekend, people had the opportunity to upgrade their character. I don't think anyone did. I don't think anyone had enough experience points to do it. Because you basically get 2 experience points per session, as long as you do something in Act. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so let's open up all the character sheets. Alright. Lavender. Alright, big food. Johnston. Oh, Johnny Boy's back. And Dr. Cirrus. Alright, guys. Let's jump in feet first and do this shit. Alright. So, first things first, let's give out experience points for this session. So we got Dr. Cirrus. Which is Zachary. Okay. Johnston. Lots and lots of paperwork, guys. That's all this game is. That's all this game is. Tyler Blackmore. Samuel Davis. Ronald Cullen. Yeah, I think the only one that didn't act is Paul Abernathy, so there we go. GM done. Alright. So, let's do it. Alrighty. Oh, nope, I don't want Steam. Discord, there we go. Alright, so Act 6. Music, please. Okay. Jamie was in his element. The Russians had unleashed their chemical warfare, and gosh dang it, he was ready. People on his street went wild, and he quickly put them down. Double tap to be safe, he uttered to himself as he put a bullet through Stephen the metalworker's head. He was after his supplies. They were his, and his alone. He reclined on his porch and did his usual radio wave search. Information was the only thing he lacked right now, and he wasn't going anywhere to get new information. Nothing but white noise for most of the bands, outside of the safety message from Bayland, which had been playing endlessly since last night. Who would be stupid enough to seek safety in numbers? Outside of this 12 gauge, that's all the numbers I need. Jamie chuckled to himself. Alright, so Bayland is taking in survivors. Might be a chance to find like-minded individuals and information. Will our heroes brave the eternal storms to seek refuge? Time frame 2 hours, and the global boost dice I have for this session is 0. All right, so let's do some initiative then, real quickly. All right, up first we have Zachary, aka Dr. Cirrus. Dr. Cirrus. 2 yellow. All right, and that's Zachary. 1 and 2. Alright, new leader. Johnston. Three green. Wow. Who said you needed points in call to be the first one. There you go. That's proof that you don't. So John Stern, aka Mac Popper Spot, Big Food Stuff. You are 4-1. New biggest dick on the block. Congratulations on your promotion. There we go. That's gonna be hard to beat, I think. Alright, Tyler Blackmore. Let's see what you got. That is 3 advantage. Man. 3 advantage. Put you on square at the bottom for now. Next we have Samuel Davis. 1 and 2. That puts you in at 3rd spot. Roll a failure on initiative? Nah, that never happens. We don't even roll opposition dice in this place. Alright, Ronald Cohen. 2 and 1. That puts you in 2nd place, just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And last but not least, we have Olga. I will take the first one. I don't know where it rolled it twice, but that's the world we live in. 3 and 1. That puts you in 2nd spot. Alright. Easy peasy. Okay. Let's just move all these down so I can have a physical order on my thing. Alright, so John Stone, aka Big Food Stuff. Let's see where you are. Alright. You see John Stern surprised to see that people have already come to his location. Thinking that looters have come, he puts on his mask and prepares for the worst. Then it cuts to the rangers who are covered by the light of their car, walking out with flashlights inspecting the crash. As the lead ranger says, "Let's stick together. Who knows what's hiding out in this forest now?" The other rangers respond with nods as they try to inspect the location around the plane. It's kind of funny because I'm pretty sure the first time I read this it said that you wanted them to split up, but that's alright. Then it cuts to John as he says to himself, "I can't believe this is happening. I just need to amp myself up. Okay, let's do this." As John jumps down and attacks lead ranger Ack. The lead ranger says as John drop kicks the man and performs a jump off the man and says, "Take that, bandits," while he strikes a magnitude of poses. He would like to use Brawl to defeat the bandits and to gain a boost dice for them being surprised that a man wearing a tiger mask attacked them. I mean, sure, I can give you a boost dice, but like ultimately, you said yourself, we're not sure what's out there. Let's stick together. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a boost die, but I'll also add a black die since you kind of made them aware and prepared themselves for this. So with that in mind, you want to beat, what, 3 people? Because I did previously state in the common section that there was 3 people in this group. So you want to defeat 3 people by yourself. I will add a purple dice for every single person that's in that group. That's how this game handles mob combat. Basically, the way that it works is if you're fighting a group of people, they're as powerful as the group of people themselves. So normally in a game where you're like rolling lots of dice and going through the motions of combat and stuff like that, let's say you fight a group of 4 people for whatever reason, and they're 4 purple right now. But every time that you do damage to them, up to a certain point. Like maybe one person has 5 damage. Every time you do 5 damage, it removes a dice from that mob, so they become easier to deal with later on. But for now, 3 purple, 1 black, 1 blue, and you wanted to use brawl, so that isn't so bad. Brawl. So that's 1 yellow, 2 green. Alright, you succeeded, but you got 2 threats. So the way that I look at this going is I'm going to give you another strain for jumping down and doing your business. I'm also going to give you 2 wounds for the threats that you received, because you're engaging in fisticuffs with the men of arms and the law itself. The law of the forest, I guess you could say. But yeah, you defeat them. They are lying unconscious. The men themselves have flashlights, as you said, like the big heavy ones, you know, the ones that you can clock a motherfucker with. Let's see. I'm gonna just Google something real quick. Okay, so they do carry firearms. So I guess in the instance of you being able to loot these men, on them they would have a forest ranger disguise, obviously, big heavy flashlights, 3 of them, revolvers, 3 of them, and probably like walkie-talkie type radios. I don't know what they're called. Just, you know, like radios, basically. Also, they came by truck. By truck, I mean utility vehicle, and by utility vehicle, I mean car. So, you know, you can take that with you as well. Yeah. Good turn. Good turn. You successfully defeated the help that was coming to rescue you. I like it. What could go wrong? Up next, we have Olga and her crazy town. So let's take a look. So, for 2 years you built this place. Why? They already had breakfast, and there was now awkwardly exchanging phrases to break the silence and radio static noise. For some reason, Franz left the radio on. What a coincidence. Well, you never know when you need a bunker, and I have a good one. It is good to have one, smacks the Godfather. Shh. Message repeat. All civilians. Shh. Need to. I repeat. Go. Shh. You need to go to Bayland. Shh. Message repeat. And then silence. There's a pregnant pause in the air as the sound of the golden, crunchy nut, delicious honey oats of that particular breakfast cereal that gave me money to put them into this game is eaten silently. Crunchy and delicious. I expect to check in the mail, Kellogg's. Maybe we need to go there. It sounds important, says Olga. No, we stay here. We don't need help, not from them. But they may need our... No. Franz turns away from her, greedily consuming his Honey Nut Cheerios. The young woman hears a murmur. We deserve it. She awkwardly excuses herself to go to the restroom to wash her hands. As weird as it might sound, there's not a lot of places to get away from the only other person in this bunker, so I can understand why she went to the bathroom. He acts weird. I don't like that. Why they deserve it. Although, it starts to smell nice here. The smell of mown grass. That is odd. She starts to investigate the source of the smell and notices the ventilation. The chains around their necks are loose. Okay. It could easily be removed. Oh, okay. You're going on a tangent. You break from the gilded cage for once and forever. Strange dream. Maybe a prophetic one? Doesn't matter now. Well, I can definitely get it through it. Olga comes out from the restroom and takes a bag with her belongings. Oh, I forgot to take it. Don't look at me like that. I have a lot of skincare. She calmly says at the questioning glance from friends. In the restroom, Olga takes her hairpin screwdriver. Oh my god. The references. Unscrews her vent and goes through it. The smell of fresh air and mown grass with every moment intensifies. Who's mowing the grass in an apocalypse? Mr. Rogers? Is that you? I'd like to use coordination to go through the vent safely. I guess that's a reasonable use for it. Coordination is more like... Yeah? What is that? What is that skill? Is that agility? You make a good point. I need to look this up now. Skills. No. Coordination. Agility. In the course of adventures, characters may find themselves needing to stay stable on unsteady surfaces. See, I was always... Crawl through narrow openings. Wow, I did not know that. I always thought it was like balancing and that sort of shit. So, yes, I guess coordination is the right skill for this. Huh. Coordination is not the word I'd use to describe that. But anyway, if we're talking like a bunker vent, I'm trying to think, like, how would... Like, if this bunker is, in fact, chemically and radiation, like, safe, right? There's probably, like... It's probably just not, like, a straight vent to the outside. That would make no sense. That would defeat the purpose of a fucking bunker. So... I want to say that this particular vent, it goes to, like, some sort of, like, treatment area and like some sort of weird, like, because you need fresh air. You can't be in a bunker without it, obviously. So I want to say there's some sort of weird, like, powered treatment, oxygen treatment facility or air treatment facility here, and you crawling through the vent will lead you to that, and that's where you'll end up. And then it's not just a simple case of going through the vent and leaving. Like, it's more of a maze than that. So I'm gonna give you this is gonna be 3 purple. It's gonna be hard because of that. I'm gonna give you a black die because you don't have the required lighting equipment. Because it's not like they illuminated the air vents for, you know, this particular purpose. And yeah, we'll go with that. So coordination, interesting skill. This is probably the first time I've ever rolled coordination in this game. 2 green. Eesh. Oof, good luck. Yeah, but you did it. There you go. So, you know, I love the idea. Like, I am, like, me as a person, I am incredibly, like, stupidly, like, the most stupid a man could possibly be claustrophobic. Like, if there's one thing I hate more than going... There's nothing I hate more than going through confined spaces or being underground or being in an elevator with more than 5 people. You know, like, I fucking hate that shit. So for me, going through an event like this to escape your family seems like an extreme that I would never take. So personally, I love the idea that when Olga is crawling through this vent, there's a moment of, like, pure, like, unadulterated fear that goes through her mind. Like, you know, when you get to the point when you're like, this is the point of no return. If I keep going, there is no way I can shimmy back. and I might just die in here forever, right? Like that. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but I love the idea that that is a moment that of clarity that crosses your mind, like a moment too late. You know what I mean? Hope she goes into a golf course. Yeah. So that's where I think I'm going to give you 2 strain here for your threat. 1 for doing it, and 1 for having your threat be worth something to you. So you come to the treatment plant, you're covered in like dust and grease and stuff like that, but you get out and you see like a contraption that basically like you know, you can see how it works. I mean, it's pretty simple what happens here. It's like it's running it through a series of filters. Now, you can't crawl through the filters, obviously, but what you can do is you can break the part just before the filters and crawl out through that. So that's what you do. You take your screwdriver again, jimmy open like a maintenance panel, slide out the filters, and then slide yourself in there, all greased up and ready to roll, and you crawl your way to victory. I've only known one man to crawl through half a mile of shit and come out clean on the other side, and it was Olga. Yeah, so that was your turn. Cool, good stuff. Ronald von Victor von Varus. Now, Blind, you said you wanted to go first. Is there a particular reason for that? How far down the line are you? Oh, you're literally next. No, you're like last. Oh, that's hard to swing. Let me just quickly read this. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, sure. In the future, try and keep your like actions or whatever to be like independent of each other as much as possible, because people who invest in initiative should have the option to be able to act first. You know what I mean? Like, or add in a option as to, you know, if they're not there, or if they're doing something else, or if they're elsewhere, then I do this instead, right? Just have like an if and or something like that. Though I'll work on how we can do like group stuff, because it is gonna come up a lot probably. Who fucking knows? Anyway, we'll do Tyler first. So we'll move Tyler up there. But I won't be doing this every session. If your initiative is terrible and you want to go first, I'm just gonna put a hard stop on that, because you know that's just how it goes. All right. So as the scene starts, we hear American Idiot start playing. Bark, bark, bark is the sound Tyler awakes to, realizing that he fell asleep. He shoots out of his chair. Fuck! He reaches his gun before realizing it's safe. Crap. Need to focus. I wouldn't fall asleep so easy if back in Nam. Shaking himself awake, he pounds on the door for the room that Paul was in. Paul, we're alive! After that, he walked outside, having heard Mr. Magic Mushroom Man walked out last night. He taps on the window. Hey you, want some breakfast? After having altered him to the chance of food, he heads inside and turns on the radio before making breakfast in the kitchen. This is emergency broadcast for all people left alive in the Rockwell County. Bayland is offering refuge to all who require it. I repeat, Bayland is offering refuge to all who need it. Well, that's interesting. I'll discuss it with Paul and maybe Victor if he sticks around. The song ends. Don't want to be an American Idiot, one nation controlled by the media. Having heard the call to Bayland, Tyler would speak to Victor and Paul if he comes in about their options. Okay, so You don't do anything this session, this act. That's fine. You don't take any strain either, so that's just how that works. Cool. That's fine. I'm happy for that to happen. All right, so now we go to Ronald Cullen, aka Victor von Varys. Which is, I believe, Riga. Yeah. Victor wakes up with a slight start, shaking his head clear in the car. Out of curiosity, he turns on the car radio to see if there's any news about whatever's going on. How convenient. Hearing the message about Balin, Victor pauses to consider. Well, that sounds promising. Then again, anything sounds far better than nothing. What to do, what to do. There are those unstable individuals just inside the building. And then you get a knock on the door. A knock on your window saying that you want lunch or breakfast. And then you go back in. We'll add that in there. It's a fine line to decide between safety numbers and knowing who to trust. However, there is no time like the present. And in this present, opportunity has presented itself. So no time to lose. There are moves to be made, and it's up to Victor to make them, it seems. Victor heads into the building at the prospect of food and takes whatever Tyler has made for him. Whatever serving Tyler has made for him. Okay. Between bites, he announces his intentions. Gentlemen, opportunity knocks at the speakers of our radios. This is something I intend to fully embrace. So thank you for your attempts at hospitality. And in return, I extend the olive branch back to you. I intend to exit this residence into my vehicle and make my way towards Balin. You are welcome to follow in your own means of transportation, and so may we form a vehicle convoy. The weather is trifle, nasty, and therefore needs eyes, bodies, and lights and modes of transportation. It will surely be advantageous. It is up to you whether you accept or not. Whatever the case, I will be leaving on this endeavor shortly. Please do consider your position, and I will be proceeding either way. Overall victory. Victor would prefer if they came with him. I'd like to roll charm to simply attempt to make my offer sound appealing as possible. So that's the problem with charm. And I'm not going to penalize you for this, but I don't think charm is entirely necessary when it comes to player characters. Charm works really well against NPCs and stuff like that, but when it comes to, especially in a game like this where I can't get the instant reaction of someone, I don't want to say for them what their character should or should not do, taking away, what makes their characters work or whatever. So in that instance, just know that if you guys want to leave it up to a charm roll from Victor, whether or not you follow in his vehicle convoy, that is entirely possible. That goes to Paul Abernathy and Tyler Blackmar, I think. Tyler. So if you want to leave it up to that role, we can definitely make that happen. However, what that will be is you guys would roll against his charm as the difficulty. So if you want that to like help guide your character in some way, that is an option that we can do. However, Rigger, you won't yourself need to make the roll. It's just them sort of responding to your charm, I guess, mostly. So yeah, no strain added. That was a good run. So Zachary Blackwell. I realize I called Tyler Blackwell, but I don't, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. You know what I'm putting down, son. Yeah, alright, Dr. Cirrus. What are you doing, Zach? What's a life worth? Would that EMT he stole from the med bag have gone to save someone important? Or watch the storm as it swallowed Wendigo? How fitting. A Wendigo creature was born when someone has to cut off the head of the world and cannibalize others. This city would eat itself. I thought you didn't like to play hero, he told his reflection. Look at that little shit staring back at him. Doesn't mean I don't know how. An immobile storm, burns and lightning, transparent skin and blue veins. What the hell is going on? He had some piece of the puzzle, but apparently some outfit northwest of here was actively trying to figure things out. Discovering what they knew was better than sitting here with a thumb up his ass. He was just another sinner trying to make his mark on the world and survive an act of God, but couldn't stay here. Ain't no rest for the wicked. He needed a nap. If talking to himself in a mirror was becoming cathartic. Wait, God and punishment and Charles. Could it really be that simple? A theory to test later. He had an ambulance to catch. They got on a call mere minutes ago, and while they wouldn't directly pass the station he intended to visit, it was close enough. Supposedly, they were studying the storm, its effects, affected people. Reports varied depending on who was asked. Self-interest was his nature, and self-interest saved others. Well, how valuable was it to dispel the storm? He left the bathroom, and with a slap to Charles for good luck, he raced to his chariot. The door shut, and he leaned his head against one of the metal cabinets as the engine rolls to life. Once more into the breach. Zach is going to rest his weary mind and recover strain from the recent events on his trip. He's going to a place rumored to be studying the storm. The GM may describe what this is and where Zach is being dropped off. So that's a big presumption there, Dr. Cirrus. Like right now, as you mentioned already in the post, Wendigo is literally eating itself, hence the name. I'm glad you caught on to that. But it's kind of like if anything, the ambulance right now would be more like used in other ways, like it's a tool, and I don't think driving people to learn about the storm would be all that useful for that to be. If anything, what I need you to do in order to make this happen, and I'm willing to give you a few options here, and we can roll this outside of the act if you want, or at the start of the next act, and then we can see what the result is, or we can roll it afterwards. It doesn't matter. But you're covering a little bit too much ground there. So basically what I need you to do is I need you to try and find people who are going on this endeavor, because I need to be able to see them in my mind and give them like give these NPCs like a reason to do what they're doing, right? I agree that there are going to be people who are curious about the storm. The problem is that Wendigo and Wendigo Hospital, being, you know, somewhere around the center of this place, is literally locked in a complete chaotic zone right now with people rioting and doing whatever they want. So an ambulance is a prime target for people to hit up and try and steal from, all that sort of stuff. So what I'm saying is this is going to take another role to prepare for that, and I'm willing to give you that one after this act is over. Like you can have that role before this one if you want, or you can just leave this as your intent, and you can still receive XP without having to use a strain this session if that's what you want to do. Let's take a look. What is your strain at right now? 7 or 14. You have a lot left. You have half left. So I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a rest and move, but it's one of those things where like it's one or the other, right? Like that's ultimately what this game comes down to. If you want to rest, you have to forego having an action. That's simply how you need to look at it. So it's one or the other. If you can secure that people will watch your back and drive you to another place, then that's perfectly fine too. But you have to actually secure that rather than just write it out as fact. So for now, we'll leave you as just acted without having spent an action. And if you want to elaborate on what that action might be to me over the next coming hours, I will give you the result and you'll be ready to write your next act. Yeah? Cool. All right. Last but not least, we have Samuel Davis. Okay. Samuel D. Sammy D. Alright. Gah! Sammy lurched to life. His eyes dart around the room while his brain processes surroundings. Oh, right, I'm home. Sammy crawls off his mattress with a whiskey bottle in hand and walks over to the window. Well, it's a new morning and it's time to hit the block, and Sammy lifts the blind to see that it's still dark out. Huh. How long did I sleep? He takes a swig from the bottle. No, it doesn't matter. I'm not tired. Sammy stretches and feels his shoulder. Hey, my shoulder feels better too. Maybe I'll go out. Sammy freshens up a bit and changes shirts. I bet my bottom dollar that fucking cloud is still out there. He walks to the front of his room and sees the barricade. I guess I need to move all this shit out of the way. After clearing his path, Sammy moves outside. He reaches into his jacket pocket for a cigarette. Oh fuck, I'm out. I totally forgot. I guess I'll hit up the quick stop. Sammy looks down the corridor. I need to be careful though. I don't want Mrs. Long knowing that I'm here. The broad will juice me for every dollar I have. I'd like to use stealth to avoid drawing the potential attention of Miss Long. Or whatever else is out there. Alright. Easy. Let's make this a 2 purple. 2 purple. Stealth. If you somehow fail this, man, I don't know what to say to you. 1 yellow, 1 green. I can't even make that shit up, man. Like... Alright. Oh my god, Sammy D! Alright, so. Alright, with 3 failures. You literally rolled 1 advantage on your roll, nothing else. 3 failures. So, I like the idea that you're attempting to sneak out. And, like, I like the idea that her apartment is, like, the first one. The first apartment, like, coming in, right? So you have to go down the stairs. And her apartment's on the ground floor. It's right by the entrance. And that's why you have to stealth. So I like that you're putting all your effort into making yourself seem real stealthy. You go down. You trip. You make a loud noise. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, phone. You fall down, knocking over a lamp and a potted plant. That's when you're like, fuck. And you look up. You see that a door is open. But it's not open. It's kicked in. And you go up to the door. You look in. And you're like, Mrs. Long? Hello? And that's when you see her dead on the ground. Shot a couple of times and her house is ransacked. It's a good thing you barricaded your doors, buddy. Huh? It's a good thing you're paranoid, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, you can contain your shock if you like, or you can do whatever you like. But that pretty much wraps up our act, ladies and gentlemen, for the week. Yeah. Things are finally kicking it into high gear here, ladies and gentlemen. Come back tomorrow, same time. Well, probably earlier because I started late today. But we'll be back for more in just a hot minute. We're going to swap over to Yakuza 0 now. So, see you in a bit.